Now we're on Daf Heyam and Beis. And the reason why we weren't going to be machmir on her and break her up, bust up her marriage when she got married is time of Mai, is Dilma Osi Bal Uma'aru Pasale. We're always afraid that if there's no B'fanei Nechtam before she got married, then maybe the Baal's going to come and he's going to cast aspersion on the get by claiming that the get was written Shalol Lishma. But Hashta Baal Lo Kama'arer. Now the Baal's not here. He's not registering any sort of claim that the get is possible. Is Anan Nekim Una'arale? Are we going to now offer an irur and cast suspicion on the kashrus of the get because we want to do so, and the Baal is not doing so? What do we have to step up and step into the shoes of the Baal and operate on his behalf to passel the get? And now the Gemara says that the machlokas between Rabba and Rava is really an older machlokas, but plukta the Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, who came before Rabba and Rava. Chad Omer, according to one opinion, Lefisha ein b'kiyum l'shma. Chad Omer Lefisha ein edim mitzuyim l'kaima. It's an exact duplicate of the machlokas Rabba and Rava. Tistayim the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi who the Omer Lefisha ein b'kiyum l'shma. How are we going to prove that it's Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi who holds like Rabba that ein b'kiyum l'shma? The Rabbi Shimon ben Bar Abba Isi Gita, he came with a get from Medina Sayyam, and Rabbi Shimon was the shliach. Lekami the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi presided over the courts in Eretz Yisrael. Yomalei, and Rabbi Shimon ben Abba said to Rabbi Shimon ben Levi, "Tzufina l'meim b'fanei nechtam v'achnen lo." Am I required to testify b'fanei nechtam or not? Yomalei Rabbi Shua responded, "Lo tzrifas." Lo Amru, when did the Chacham require b'fanei nechtam l'doros harishon shebikim l'shma? L'doros hachrona bikim l'shma? Lo. This time. So we see clearly that Rabbi Shimon Levi was of the opinion of Rabbah that the only reason they made the takon requiring Fanei Nechtam is because of a chash that it wasn't Lishma, and in later generations there is no chash. And apparently Rabbi Shimon Levi never accepted the logic that we had before, the principle of Gazrin and Shemayachzar Adavar L'Kulku. V'tizbara, are you going to really tell me that Reb Shimon bar Abba was a shliach, and he came alone from Medina Sayyam, for Rabba Islay de Rabba. We already had a sugya, that was yesterday's daf, on daf Daled, that Rabba agrees to Rabba that we have to be Mekayim the get. So why wouldn't Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi require a Fanei Nechtam in order to be Mekayim the get? The ode, and I'm going to bring you another proof that Rav Shimon bar Abba did not come as a lone ranger, the only shliach. We said that even according to Rabbah, after they learned that Takonim Fanei Nechtam Yachzin level Kukulo, even in Doros Achronim, where there are Bikim B'Lishma Ella, the Gemara proves from all this that Rav Shimon Elazar in Shachrin Avdei, Rav Shimon came together with another person, and we learned already on Amud Aleph here on Daf Hey that if two people bring the get from Medina Sayyam, and it was after they know about Lishma, they don't require Fanei Nechtam, it's not Shriya. You'll ask me, so why wasn't he mentioned here? It says that Reb Shimon himself brought the get as a shliach. Mishum kvod Reb Shimon, it would be a little bit less than his cover to mention that he came with another shliach. Itmar b'fnei kama nosting lo, we had already earlier a machlok between Reb Yochanan and Reb Chanina. Chad Omar b'fnei shnayim, chad b'fnei shlosha. Tistayim the Reb Yochanan hu di Omar b'fnei shnayim. We're going to try to prove from a Masechet Shahoya that Rabbi Yochanan maintained that all you need is to give the get in front of two witnesses. The Ravin bar Rav Chizda Isi Gita, Ravin brought a get from Medina Sayyam. L'kamed Rabbi Yochanan was the Rav who supervised the Nesina Segev Yomer Lei, and Rabbi Yochanan said, Zil Havale Biapi Trey. Give the get to the Isha in front of two witnesses, V'emalahu, and say, recite in front of the two Eidim, B'fanei Nechtav, Tistayim. So we see clearly that Rabbi Yochanan was the one who said that all you have to do is give the get in front of Shnai. Lema b'hakam ifli. What is the essence of the machlokes between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Chanina? What would be the svar to say you need two, and the svar to say you need three? Maybe Rabbi Yochanan was worried about lishma. I don't need a bezdin. I'm not being mekayim the get. I need to establish lishma, and for that all I need is two eidim. So if two eidim will testify that the shliach said in our presence, which means that the get was written lishma, even if the Baal later on would come to be ma'ar, we wouldn't believe him. Who requires lifnei shlosha k'sol fishein eidim b'tzuim l'kaimo. So we need kiyum get. And the Gemara Masechet Ksubis on Daf Chaf Aleph on Beis established that kiyum shtaros requires the presence of a bezdin of three dayanim. So Gemara asks the following kasha: Tizbera, is it really true that the machlokas of Yochanan Reish Lakish is the same as the machlokas between Rabbah and Rava? This machlokas between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Shimon Levi. In that context, we proved that Rabbi Shimon Levi was the one who held that, like Rabbah, the problem is lishma. And Midar Rabbi Shimon Levi, who says that the problem is lishma, is we can deduce from that Rabbi Yochanan Omar Flishein Eidim Mitzuim L'Kaima. That Rabbi Yochanan holds like Rava, that the takana is based on the fact that we need kiyum ashtar. Now you're telling me if Shnayim means because of Lishma, when Rabbi Yochanan was worried about kiyum shtaros, and he accepted the logic and the opinion of Rava. So we have a stira here. V'od, and furthermore, it's impossible to say that the reasoning of Rabbi Yochanan is because of Lishma. Rabbah Islay de Rabbah. We've already established back on Daf Daled that even Rabbah agrees that we have to take care of the issue of kiyum ashtar. So how can you do so with two eidim? Everybody agrees, whether it's Rabbah, whether it's Rabbah, as we said on Daf Daled, or here we're going to say it in the context of Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Chanina. We need kiyum shtaros, and therefore we're going to need a bezdin of shlosha dayanim. You know what? We have the two witnesses, according to Rabbi Yochanan, and we have the shliach himself. The shliach himself will be the third dayan to make up a bezdin for kiyum shtaros. And what is the machlokas now between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Chanina? The question is whether the shliach can serve as a dayan. Hacha b'shliach nasa eid v'eid nasa dayan kol mifligin. The machlokas here is the following. A shliach brings a get, and now he wants to testify on the fact that he's a shliach, and he wants to testify b'fanei nechtav. Can he become one of the dayanim now? Rabbi Yochanan holds that the shliach will bring the get from Medina Sayyam and transmit it to the Isha in the presence of two Eidim. Those two Eidim are going to be a Bezdin, but the Shliach himself can serve in a double capacity. He could be an Eid, and at the same time, he can serve as a Dayan. And this is a great sugi, right? I'm sorry. Uman di Omar b'fnei shlosh kasovar shliach nasa Eid, but ein Eid nasa Dayan. It's okay for the shliach to serve as a witness, even though he's testifying about something, because shlichus means that you're a shliach for the chalos, not on the maisa. So when he testifies on the maisa, then he's not testifying on himself, because it's like, let's say it the other way around. that when you appoint the shliach is now serving as a shliach for the mishaleach, and the mice is considered the mice of mishaleach al pi din. So therefore, he could be an aid. He's not testifying in his own mice. But as far as becoming a dayan is concerned, he can't be a dayan. He can't be both an aid and a dayan. Right? The whole purpose of an aid is to testify in the presence of a bezdin, but not to serve as the bezdin himself. He can't be, a student and a teacher, behind the desk at the same time. That's the sheet of Reb Chanina, and therefore we need to require that the get is handed over in the presence of three dayanim. Whereas Rabbi Yochanan says, no, shliach is not only nasa aid, but he's also nasa dayan, and now the shliach could be the third dayan making up the bezdin to be makayim the shtar. So Gemara says, "V'akayim we have a principle of b'rabbanan the aid nasa dayan, that whenever we need it for a din d'rabbanan, like Kiyum Shtar is only d'rabbanan, then Allah is aid nasa dayan. So why is it that Reb Chanina says ein aid nasa dayan? I'm sorry, ha'pahakam if we get mar savar kevan de isha. Ksher lahaviyas haget, right? She can be a shliach to bring the get. Simnin de maisalei isisa v'samchi Allah. On certain situations, when the woman brings her own get, they're going to rely on her, even if she would be considered part of the bezdin as a dayan, but an isha's psula ladu. And that's going to be the shita of Rabbi Chanina. And therefore he's going to require that she, and for that matter, any shliach, will have to give the shliach the get over in front of the presence of three dayanim, so that we cover even a case of an isha. The idach, and what about Rabbi Yochanan, who says it's enough that he gives the get, the shliach brings the get from Disiyam and gives it in front of two edim. Isha made the yadi. Everybody knows that a woman cannot be a dayan. Lo samchil. So even if she brings her own get, they're going to realize that we need to bring three dayanim, and she cannot serve as a dayan. Tanya Kavos, Rabbi Yochanan, we have a brisa supporting Rabbi Yochanan that the shliach gives the get only in front of two witnesses. Maybe get medina say I'm the son of Allah. This Reb Meir holds that Hamashana mimadbesh tov chachoma vlad mamzer. Chachomarim ein vlad mamzer. Ella, but rather ketzad yasa. So what did the chachom require? So the get was given without the shliach testifying funny nechtam. She went ahead and got married. Is the chachom hold ein vlad mamzer? But rather, what's going to happen? Yitlena imeno v'yachsav yitnena lo b'fnei shnayim. V'yom funny nechtam. Now, according to Rabbi Meir, if the shliach, before she got remarried, and she now needs a heter to get married, and the shliach did not recite funny nechtam, or according to the Chachamim, what would be permissible lechatchila that to allow her to get married, and what would be the solution in order to protect the second marriage in the event that she got remarried and we don't have to bust up that marriage? He takes the get back and gives it a second time. In any event, it's clear here, it says explicitly that bifnei shnayim, and all you need is to give the get in front of two edim, and that's a raya to Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir, who says vlad as a mamzer mishum delo omer funny nechtam funny yotziv vlad mamzer. Why is that so? Okay, they made a takana requiring funny nechtam, but it doesn't mean the get is possible. And Gemara says in Rabbi Meir l'taime, this is Rabbi Meir's shita, the Amar of Nun Shmei the Ula Amar Rabbi Meir kol Mishanim and Besh Tov Chacham Gittin Yotzi v'Avlad Mamse. Whenever you deviate from the way the Chacham required that the get should be given, and in this case the Shliach did not recite the formula of Fanei Nechtam at the time that he gave the get, that's called the Shinim at Besh Tov Chachamim Yotzi v'Avlad Mamse. Another story of Bar Hedja. He wanted to bring a get from Gutzlar's Eretz Yisrael. He came in front of Rabbi Achi. He was the one who was the final word and the final authority in Gittin and Kiddushin. Rabbi Achi says to Bar Hedja, make sure, if you're going to be the shliach, that you see in front of your eyes the ksiva of the entire get from beginning to end. Also, Bar Hedja came with Gami to Rabbi Ami Vavasi. They said, no, you don't have to see the entire get. All you have to see is the first line of the get. V'chi tema, avid l'chumra, and then you're going to be machmir like Rabbi Achi, and you're going to require that the shliach see the get from the beginning till the end. Is nimtzat zamotzi las al gittin rishonim. This is not a case where we want to encourage chumras over here, because that's going to cast an aspersion on all the original gittin. Rabbi Rachana, I see gittin. He brought a get. Palga ichtev kameh, palga lo ichtev kameh. He only saw half the get that was written in front of him. Also, coming to Rabbi Loz, or he wanted to know if the get is kosher. Malay, Rabbi Loz responded, even if you only saw the first line and it was written lishma, shuven itzarech. That's all you have to do in order to testify that the get was written lishma. Ravashi Omar, top of Dafov, afilu kan kulmosa v'kan megilta. Even if shliach heard nothing more than the sound of the fixing of the kulmus, and it was done lishma, or the tikkun haklaf, when they set up the parchment on which the get was written, and he heard the sofa declare at the time that he fixed the klaf of the kulmus, that he's doing it to write the get lishma for this man to give to this woman. Or if, let's say, the shliach heard the kol ksiva al gabi aksav, he heard the writing, I guess it makes a little bit of a noise, and he heard that the sofer says, I'm writing this get lishma, he can testify that the get was written lishma. And the Gemara is now going to prove Rav Ashi's shita based on a brisa, which we'll see in Mirz Hashem tomorrow on the second day of Sivan. Chodesh Tov, and thank you very much. Have a great day.